Hello everyone, I'm Frank and welcome to Learn How to Sudoku, where we take a very easy variant Sudoku puzzle and we break it down in detail so that you can learn how to Sudoku. Today's very easy puzzle is called Utah 01 and it's by Red Barchetta. And here are the rules. We have normal Sudoku and normal variant rules apply. So normal Sudoku rules means fill the entire grid with the digits 1 through 9 such that there are no repeats in any row, column, or designated 9-cell regions. So there cannot be repeats here and here. We have XV, where digits separated by an X sum to 10, and digits separated by a V sum to 5. And all XV clues are given. So that means, okay, so what we like to say in this, in the Sudoku community, is that there is a negative constraint, which means that there is a constraint which is negatively inferred because we are given the information all XV clues are given. So therefore, if we do not have an X or a V in between two cells, they can never add up to 5 or 10 because it would necessarily have to have an X or a V in between them if they did. So that's what the negative constraints means. And specifically for the X and the V clues, that's what it means here, right? So for example, for an example of how V's and X's work, if this is a 3, this would have to be a 2, because these two digits add up to 5. If this were a 3, this would have to be a 7, because these two digits add up to 10. But if, say we had a 3 here, because there are no X's and V's around here, none of these digits can be a 2 or 7, because those would add up to 5 or 10 respectively. And since there's no X and V around these, we know that's not possible if this were, say, a 3. If this were a 3. So that's how the XV works and how negative constraints work. We also have little killers, where clues outside the grid are the sum of the digits on that clue's indicated diagonal line. So we only have 2 of those clues. That means these 2 digits must add up to 8, and these 2 digits must add up to 9. So for example, if this were 3, this would have to be 5. If this were 3, this would have to be a 6 to make sure that these digits add up to 8 and 9 respectively. And those are all the rules. If you'd like to play along, there's going to be a link in the description. And now I'm going to get started. Let's learn how to Sudoku. Okay. So with XV puzzles, a lot of times you'll get V's in a lot of situations. And for the V's, you know that those digits must add up to 5, right? So the only digits that can be in this next to a V are 1, 2, 3, and 4. Therefore, these are 1 through 4. These are 1 through 4. That means in the rest of row 1, you cannot have a digit that's 1 through 4. Same here. In these digits, in this box, we have 4 digits, which must be from 1 through 4. That means the remaining digits must be from 5 through 9. So because of that, let's basically fill in, let's mark things as low, middle, and high for now. So anything next to a V must be low. And by low, it's 1 through 4, right? So this must be low, this must be low, these must be low, these must be low here, this is low, and this is low. These two are low, and these are low. Well, oops, not this. I don't know how I got that. This is low. Since this is low, it must be with a high digit to add up to 10. Same here, right? So the rest of the cells around that are next to an X, which are opposite of a low digit, must be a high digit. In the central box, we have 4 low digits, which are the digits 1 through 4, and 4 high digits, which are the digits 6 through 9. So therefore, where must the middle digit be, which is pink? It's 5. And this is red. Again, this is red or it's pink, which pink being 5. But 5 can never be next to an X because it would be only adding up with another 5 to add up to 10. And that would be in the same column or row. So this can never be 5. This must be a high, which forces this to be a low digit here. Again, in this upper right box, we know that the rest of the digits are high or medium, right? Because we have 4 lows here. This must be high or medium because we have 4 lows in the row. This is high or medium because we have 4 lows in the row. This is high, this is low. In column 7, we have 4 lows, so therefore the rest must be low or medium, or sorry, high or medium. And we know the medium in row 4 has to be one of these 2 cells. So this can't be the medium cell, this has to be high. What else do we have? What about box 9? Or the lower right box. Yeah, by convention, I don't like explaining this too often, but by convention, we usually number the boxes in typical Western reading notation, which is basically top to bottom and left to right. So this would be box 1, this would be box 2, this would be box 3, but that just usually adds more information that I don't know if necessarily beginner Sudoku solvers really need. This would be 5, obviously, this would be 6, 7, 8, and this would be box 9. Anyways, in this lower right box, the rest of the digits must be high or 5, because we have 4 low digits here. In addition, in column 4, we already have... Actually, let's look at the upper left box. In the upper left box, we have 3 digits that are either 5 or a high digit. So that's 3 digits there. That must be high or 5. In these 2 sets of cells that add up to 10, obviously 2 of them must be low, but 2 of them must be high, because they're 2 sets of 2 adding up to 10. So because we have 2 high digits here, and this must be at least 2 high digits and 1 5, or 3 high digits. It cannot be 3 high digits because we have 2 high digits here, and there are only 4 high digits in total. So this must be 2 highs and a 5, which means the rest of the digits in the row cannot be a 5. These are 2 high digits. And since we have all the high digits here, this cannot be a high digit and it cannot be a 5. Therefore, this is a low here. This must be a high digit because it can't be, it's next to an X. So this must be a low digit here. This low digit is next to a high digit, so it must be a high digit here. In column 6, we have 4 low digits, so the rest are high and 5. In this upper central box, or box 2, we have 3 lows already, and one of these digits must be low to be with the high digit to add up to 10. So these cannot be low. These must be high or a 5. Well, in row 3, we have 5 digits, which are high digits, which are the digits 6, 7, 8, 9, or 5. And so therefore, those are all accounted for. So this must be a low digit, which makes this a high digit. This is low and high. We're not sure which is which right now. Actually, we do. In column 4, we have 3 low digits already, and one of these 2 digits next to the X must be low, right? Because you can't have 2 high digits, you can't have a 5 digit. So one of these is low, so that means there's 4 lows already accounted for in column 4, which means the rest are high or 5. Well, this can't be a 5 because it's next to an x, so this is high, which makes this a low. One of these is low or high, which forces this to be high or 5 also. Let's see. We have 5 high digits and a 5 in column 8. So the last digit here is low. We have... Okay, let's see. So for all the lows, we're just going to mark them as 1 through 4. For all the... for all the... all the pinks, we're going to mark those at 5 through 9, and we're going to remove the pinks. All the rest of the reds, well, we're going to remove actually both colors. So that means for the rest of the reds, those are 6 through 9. Okay. So now we can remove the coloring for the highs and lows, and now we can start focusing on what each digit is. So we're going to make this green, we're going to make this red, this is going to be blue, and this we're going to make orange. This cannot be a blue-green pair because both blue and green are eliminated from that cell there. So this must be green or red. This can't be green or red, so this is blue or orange here. This must be blue or orange, which makes this a blue or orange. It's because it's a 5 next to it. This is blue or orange. This must be a high blue or orange. So this must be a red-green set, which makes this red and green, and this red and green, and this is a high blue or orange. This cannot be either blue or orange because we're already accounted for both of those there. This red or green must be next to another red or green here, which makes this both blue and orange. This is then blue and orange here. If this were a blue or orange here, it would have to have a V next to it. So this can't be blue or orange, it's green or red. This green or red cannot be next to here if this is green or red. So this must be a blue or orange here. This 1, 2, 3, 4 cannot be next to... this has to be the other green or red. So this must be the 6, 7, 8, 9, because if it were the low 1, 2, 3, 4, there would have to be a V in between them. So this is 1 through 4. This is green or red. This cannot be blue or orange, so this is green or red, which makes this, and this is green, which is next to a green, which must be next to a green for the 10s. Therefore, this is not green, this is red. This can't be green or red, so this is blue or orange here. These must be a blue-orange pair. These have to be green or red. This can't be green because both of the greens are here, so this must be red, which makes this red. This can't be red anymore, so this is green, which makes this green. So neither of these can be green, so these are the reds, and therefore this is the green here. This cannot be the high green cell because the high green cell is already in the column, so this must be the high red cell, which means it's next to the low red for the X, which makes this a green and this a green. This must be red for the V. This cannot be blue or red, so it's blue or orange, so this is green or red. If this were green or red, the problem is that there would have to be a V next to it. So this cannot be red or green. This can't be the red-green either. So this is blue or orange. This is blue or orange here. Which means this can't be the low red. This can't be the low red or green because there would be a V here. So this must be the low red or green. This is 1 through 4. The high green cannot be either of these, so it could be any of those 3. The high green has to be one of these 2. Yeah, still could be any of those. Actually, let's change this. So this we're going to make either blue or orange. We're going to make this specifically blue. So this matches that blue. And this we're going to make specifically orange. So that matches that orange. Therefore, this must be orange, which means this cannot be orange. This has to be a blue pair, which means this can't be blue. This has to be the orange low, which means this is the blue low. What are we missing here? We're missing a 5. This is 6, 7, 8, 9. It cannot be green or orange. Sorry, green or red. So it has to be, can't be blue. If it's green or red, one of these has to have an X in between them. Can't be blue, so this must be orange then. So this is orange. The blue one is here. The green or red could be any of these. High. The green cannot be here, so this must be the green high, which means the red high is one of these 2. This is a green high. This is a red high. This cannot be green or red high because of the green or red high in the column. Can't be blue high because there would be an X next to it, so this must be the orange high. The only thing we're missing now is a blue high and a 5. Well, this can't be blue high because of the blue high in the box, so this must be 5. This must be then the blue high. This can't be 5. This is not blue high, green high, or orange high, so it must be red high. Since this is red high, this can't be red low because there would have to be an X next to it. This must then be the red low here. This is green low, so this can't be green low. This is red low, which makes this green low. This orange high cannot be next to orange low, so this can't be orange low. This is blue low, which makes this orange high. Both blues are already in row 7, so this cannot be blue, which means this is orange, and this has to be orange then to match to add up to 10. This can't be the low orange, so this must be the high orange, which makes this the low orange. Therefore, this can't be low orange. This is the low blue, which means it can't be high blue or low blue. This has to be low orange. We're missing low blue. It can't be either of these. Okay. Where is the high orange in row 2? Can't be here because of the high orange already in the column. Can't be here because then there would be an X. Well, we already have a high orange in that box. So it must be here. So since this is high orange, this must be low orange, which forces this not to be low orange. It's low blue, which forces this not to be low blue. So that's low orange, which eliminates low orange here. So this is low blue. Okay. Where is high blue in row 2? Cannot be here because there would have to be an X in between these, so it must be here. So this must be high blue, which forces this to be a 5. So none of these can be 5. This cannot be 5 here. This is high blue. One of these is 5 and the other one's green high. What are we missing in column 6. We are missing high red. Okay, and high red is here and here, so can't be here, can't be here. Therefore, this is high red. And we're missing high blue. So this must be the high blue here. Where's high blue in this upper central box? We're missing high orange and high blue. Well, high blue can't be here, so this must be high orange, which makes this high blue. And we have all the high digits here, so this must be a 5 in column 4. Okay. Low blue cannot be next to this high blue because then there would be need to be X in between these cells, so this must be low blue. The remaining digit here is high red. So that's high red. Okay. We have high green and high blue here. That doesn't tell us very much. These are all high digits. We're looking at one low digit, which is low green. So this can't be low green. So this is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This cannot be red and green, so this is blue and orange. This can't be blue because of the blue here, so this is orange, which makes this blue. 5 cannot be either of these because of the 5 in the, I can't type, 5 in the row. We have 4 high digits now, which means this is a low digit. So this is 1 through 4, and the only low digit left is green. We're missing orange high, and orange high can't be next to the orange low here, so this must be the other high, which is green. So this is green, this is orange. We're missing a 5 and a high red. We're not sure which one of those are. Okay. What highs are we missing here? We're missing actually all 3 of the highs that are matched here. This cannot be orange because there would have to be an X next to it. This cannot be the high orange, so this must be the high orange here. We're missing blue and red. This can't be red because there would be need to be X next to it, so this is the high blue, which forces this to be high red. We have green, low, and high in row 6. If this were the high green, it would necessarily be next to the low green in one of these two cells. So this cannot be the high green, it has to be the 5, which means this has to be green around on both sides. And since this can't be the low green because we have the low green in the column, this must be the high green. So this is low green here. Rest of cells in column 3, we have to be 5 through 9 because we have all 4 1 through 4s in that column. So this is 5 through 9. Same in column 1. This is 5 through 9. What are we missing? Okay. 5 cannot be here. So 5 is either here or here. We're not sure which. We're missing the red 1 through 4. And it cannot be here because it would have to be here. That would eliminate that possibility. This is 5 through 9. Can't be 5. This is 6 through 9. This must be 1 through 4 and is the red 1 through 4. And then we're missing blue and green highs now. So this could be blue or green. This can only be green because the blue is already in that row. So this can't be green then. This is the blue. Where is the green high remaining in row 1? It can't be here because of this high green, so this must be the high green. So it can't be 5. This is the 5, which means none of these can be 5. So we're missing blue high and orange high. Orange high can't be here, so this must be orange high, and therefore this is blue high. 5 is one of these. We're not sure which. Where is the red high in row 8? Can't be here because there need to be an X next to it between the low red and the high red. So this has to be 5, and this must be the high red, which forces this to be 5, and this must be the high red. So since this is 5, this can no longer be 5. This is the green high, which means this has to be a 5. And now we just add these together. Well, we have to figure out what these are. So we have the low red and the high blue must add up to 8. Okay. So the high blue cannot be 8 or 9, and the low red cannot be 3 or 4, because again, this adds up to 8. So we have 1, 2 with 6, 7 adding up to 8. So the low blue must be then we're going to remove the highs, so the lows are 3 and 4. And the highs are 6 and 7. So we remove 8 and 9. 8 and 9 here. The low reds must be 1 or 2. So we can remove the highs. So we can remove that. So this has to be 1 or 2. That means, yeah, the low greens have to be 3 and 4. So we'll remove those, the highs. And since the low greens are 3 and 4, it can't be 4 because that minimum adds up to 10. So this has to be 3. So the low greens are 3, and the low reds are 2. Well, we can remove the low greens, so we have just high greens left, which means those are 7. Since those are 7, only the 6 sevens, oof. Yeah, they have to be 1, 2, 8, 9. So we have the low blues are 4. The high blues are 6. Ugh. High blues are 6. That means low reds are 1. Remove all those here. Get all the lows. Sorry, they're 2. Apologies. All the low reds are 2, so we can remove that. All the high reds are 8 to match. All the low oranges are 1, and all the high oranges are 9. That's how you solve it. I like these because I like coloring ones. So this was very fun actually for me. I guess you didn't really need to go about coloring everything, but I like doing it anyways, so that's why I prefer doing it that way. You can make mistakes if you do mass substitutions, but you know, it is what it is. Yeah, not much else to say, really. You'll often run into this negative constraint with the XVs. And well, at least in my puzzles, because I like these type of puzzles. These are very fun for me. I just like the coloring. I don't know why. It's just an aspect that always appealed to me. So I like doing the XVs where you have the negative constraint with the XV clues. Um, so I do a decent amount of these puzzles, and I hope it made sense for you guys. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Learn How to Sudoku, and I'll see you next time on Frank Puzzles. Take care.